Hey everyone, in this video let's see how we can identify months in a given year for which we have made the sales amount that is greater than the average of that whole year. So what I basically want to do is simply identify the months in 2007 for which we have the sales amount that is greater than the average of the whole year. So you can see that in April, May, June, July and September we have the sales amount that is higher than the average of that year. And before starting, let me just show you the data model. So I'm using Snowflake schema, but I'm only interested in the dates table and the sales table, and dates is my dimension which is linked with the one-to-many relationship with the sales table. And now let's get started and I will show you how we can create a measure like that. So I've removed that measure from the Power BI file so that we can start from the scratch, and I can create a new measure and let's name it as months with sales higher than the average. And let's zoom in a little bit. So the first variable that I'm going to create will contain all the months in a given year. So I'm going to write var months in current year, and that will be basically a calculate table over the values, the dates month, the month column from my dates table, and I'm going to remove the month column from the filter context because the months column is also on my matrix and that is creating the filter context. So for that, let's remove filters dates month, and let's close that and let's see how many months we are actually returning at each cell. So I can write return count rows of months in current year, and this is not going to actually return a number of 12 at each cell because we are not actually removing dates month number from the filter context as well. So what I have done is I am actually trying to sort my month number column, the month column from with the month number, and behind the scenes what Power BI actually does is it uses both columns to keep a track of how the months are being sorted. And since I have not removed month number column from the filter context, that month number column is actually able to cross filter the dates month column, because of which I am receiving only a single number which is 1 at each cell. And to get 12 at each cell, what I simply need to do is simply write dates month number, and if I click on confirm, you can see that now I get 12 at each cell. And let's move on and start writing more code. And the next thing that we want to do is simply add total sales amount to each month that we have received. So let's create another variable and I'm going to name it as months with sales. So let's write add columns over the months in current year variable, and I'm going to create a new virtual column, and I'm going to write my total sales measure, which will initiate the context transition and it will assign the total sales amount to each month that is available in this variable. And let's see how much we are actually getting at each cell. So I can write sumx months with sales, and let's sum the virtual column, and currently we get the same amount that we are actually seeing in the total sales measure. So what is actually happening? The thing is, since we are removing the months column from the filter context, we get 12 months in this variable, but the context transition that we are initiating is also incorporating the initial filter context. So let's say we are at January 2007. The initial filter context here is January and 2007. So even though in this list I have all the months, but when total sales measure is evaluated, there is actually a filter context that is outside of the add columns, which is actually impacting the amount that is being applied on this variable. So if in case I want to get the grand total, or let's say the average of the whole year, what I simply need to do is simply copy this code and I will paste it inside the calculate table. So let me just show you what I mean by that. First of all, let me just create a variable. So it will be visible months, let's say, and that will simply hold the values function. And then I'm going to create another variable which I can simply copy from this. So I can copy and paste it here, and instead of months in current year, I'm going to reference the visible month variable, and let's write return, and I'm going to use the SumX part from here, and let's paste it here and add a comma for calculate table. And for a moment, just let's remove the table part from the calculate function, and I'm going to comment out this code, and instead of SumX I'm going to write months in current year. And if I click confirm, you can see that for each year I get a sales amount which is the grand total of that year. So for 2008 I'm getting 93 millions, I think 9.3 million, and for 2009 I get 9.5 million. And based on this I can actually calculate the average of this year. So to create the average of the current year and for all the years, what we can do is simply write another variable. So I'm going to write var average current year, and that will be simply an average x over months with sales variable. And I'm going to take the virtual column in the row context, and let's return that after the return part. And if I click on confirm, you can see that we get an average amount for each year. So for 2007 it is 939, for 2008 we get 7766, and using that we can identify all the months that have made the sales amount that is greater than the average of that year. So what we can do is simply write a few more lines of code. So now I'm going to apply the filter function. So let's write months above average. So I will use the filter function to filter this variable, and I'm going to check that is the sales amount or the virtual column sales, is that greater than or equal to the value that I've retrieved in this variable, which is the average variable. And let's close that, and let's write count rows for now. So I can write count rows months above average, and that will tell us how many months in a given year are actually above the average amount. So let's confirm that, and we are not getting the right result. Okay, so it is actually overwriting the filter context. That is why it is showing the values for 2005 and 6, even though there is no sales amount for those years. But this is not a problem, we will remove that in a few minutes. It will actually get removed automatically. So you can see that in 2007 we get 5 months, in 2008 we have 6 months, and in 2009 we have 7 months. So let's write a few more lines of code so that we can identify actually what are those months. And what we can do is simply create another variable at top which will help us in identifying the month that is visible in the current filter context. So I can write month in filter context, and that will be again a values over the dates month column. Dates, if I can only write it correctly. Sorry, I'm writing values, that value, that is why it is not working. So I need to write values dates month, and what I can do is simply check and create another variable. So I can write is month in filter context. So I can simply check if, simply write a filter function. So let's use this variable which is month above average, which contains all the months that have made the sales amount above the average. And in row context, what I'm going to do is simply check that if dates month is in the filter context. So I'm going to use this variable, and it will simply return at each cell true or false, and based on that true or false we will be able to sum the sales amount or the average amount that we are, the sales amount. And the next variable and the final one we are going to create is going to be result, and that will be simply a SumX over the is month in filter context. And I'm going to simply sum the virtual column at the rate sales, and let's simply return the result variable at the end. And I can remove the commented out part, and let's click on close and confirm the measure. And now you can see that at each year we are getting the year, we are actually getting the month which has made the sales amount that is greater than the average. And if you want to confirm that if the total that we are getting is correct or not, you can simply do, what you can do is simply extract the data from this matrix by clicking on the option of extract data, and I have already done that. So let me just go to the Excel file. So for the first year, which is 2007, I'm getting a sales amount which is 511 555, and that is the exact same value that I get at the subtotal level. For 2008 I get 5144. So let's sum the amount for 2008 and I get 5144. So the next thing that you would ideally do is simply go back to the Power BI file and you would try to create a visualization out of that table that we have just created. So let me just remove the total sales measure and I can create a bar chart from this table. And what I can do is simply go to the x-axis and turn off the concatenate label option so that all the months in a given year are easily visible. So you can see that in 2007 we are only reporting April, May, June, July and September, and for 2008 we have different sets of month, and similarly for 2009. And now based on that you can simply present this dashboard to the end user so that they can make sense of how many months in a given year have made the sales amount that is higher than the average sales amount of that given year. So before wrapping up, let me just show you that the number that we are receiving at the grand total is actually incorrect. So if I go to the Excel file and select the whole column, you can see that the grand total is being reported as 164,996,039, and if I go to Power BI it says here 1632. So why is that happening? The problem is that at the grand total there is no filter context, and what DAX engine is actually doing is it is identifying the average amongst all 3 years, and that based on that it is trying to calculate all the months that are greater than the average of all the 3 years. So let's see how we can correct that code and get the correct grand total at the correct number at the grand total. And for that I'm going to create a new calculated table so that I can explain you what is happening at each step. So let's build a calculated table, and the first thing that I'm going to do is simply get a variable which will contain the dates, month and the calendar year number. So I can write month, year. So I can simply use summarize function, dates calendar year number and dates month, and then I'm going to add another column over this variable that will simply compute the sales amount for that given month and the given year. So let's write month, year, sales, and that will be basically an add columns over the month, year at the rate sales, so that we can create a virtual column. And then I'm going to use the total sales measure so that I can initiate the context transition, and let's return this variable to see what we are actually getting. So I can write month, year and sales, and you can see that for each month if I sort the column we are getting the sales amount that we have already seen in the matrix. And let's for now remove all the years for which the sales amount is actually blank, and for that I can simply wrap this code inside filter and simply check that the sales column should be greater than 0. And if I do that, I'm only getting 36 rows for the 3 years I have. And the next thing that I can do is simply add another column over this variable that will simply compute the average for that given year irrespective of the month that we are currently iterating on. So let's create another variable. So I can say month, year, average. So let's go to new line and I'm going to use add columns function. So I'm going to add another column over the month, year, sales variable, and let's name it as average. And I'm going to write the code in the next line because it is going to be a pretty big one. So the first thing that we need to do is simply retrieve the currently iterated calendar year number from the row context, and for that I can create another variable and I'm going to name it as current year. So I can write dates calendar year number, and I'm accessing this variable from the currently iterated row of this this column. So the next variable that I'm going to create is going to simply filter the month, year, sales variable for all the rows that belongs to the current year. So let's write same rows, and I can write filter, and I'm going to use this variable so that I can filter that based on an expression in the row context. And I'm going to say dates calendar year number should be equal to the current year, and I'm going to create another variable over which I'm going to calculate the average x. So let's name it as result, and that will be basically an average x over the same rows variable. And I'm going to initiate my total sales measure, and let's return that and see what we are actually getting. So I can write return result, and let's close that add columns. So let's return this variable and let's format it so that it is more readable, and I'm going to get rid of the decimal places as well from both these columns. So if I filter this column, you can see that we are only getting 3 values which are the average for that year, and if I need to verify that, I can simply go back to the measure and I can simply retrieve and return the average of the current year variable. So for 2007 I get 939, then I get 7766 and 7922, and similarly here I get 939, 7922 and 7766. So at the moment I know that the average that I'm getting is correct, and in the next step what I can simply do is identify all the rows in this table where the sales amount is actually greater than the average column, and for that I can write another variable. I can simply write filter rows, and let's write filter over the month year average, and I'm going to simply check that the sales column is greater than or equal to the average column. So let's return this variable, and you can see that now I only get 18 rows, and for 2007 I'm getting 1 2 3 4 and 5 rows, as we have already seen in the matrix. Here we get, let me just return the correct value first of all. So let's confirm that, and you can see for 2007 we are returning 5 values, for 2008 we get 6, and for 2009 we are getting 7. So let's count. For 2008, let's filter out everything. I get 6 values, and for 2009 I should get 7 values, and that is what I am actually getting. And based on that, now I can simply sum the sales amount column in my measure. So what I can do is simply copy this code and go to the measure that I've already written, that we have already created, and let's see where we can actually replace the code. So we need to work with the average current year variable, and instead of average x I can simply paste in the code, and let's zoom out a little bit. So at the moment what we can do is simply copy this code and place it instead of the values function. So we can remove this line. We are done with that, and we have these variable. I need that, so I can indent it. Let's remove the average current year variable for now, and let's indent the var month year average, and I'm getting an error here. So instead of month year I can simply write visible month, or I can simply rename the visible month variable instead of copy and pasting there. And what else can we do? So the add columns part is already been taken care here, so I can simply remove the add columns part inside the filter function with this variable, and instead of visible months I can write month year, and let's indent this part as well. So we are now filtering here, we are actually adding the average sales amount, and in the next variable we are checking that sales amount should be greater than the average of the current year. So average of the current year here is the variable, but instead of that I can simply replace it with the average column, average. So let's first of all reference the correct variable, and let's write average, and I think it should work now. Let's confirm the measure so to see that if we are actually getting the correct value or not. So I am reporting 16499 here. Is that the correct number? So if I select the whole column, you can see that at the grand total we are getting 164996039, and that is the exact same value that I get at the grand total. So that's how you can actually identify the months in a given year that have made the sales amount that is higher than the average of the whole year. And if in case the grand total was not coming correct, we have already seen how we can actually fix that. And that was all for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, have a great day.